Hello, geography students. This is Mrs. Politsky, and I have maps for chapter 15 and 16, maps that we're going to label for Southeast Asia and South Asia. Now, just a little, misnomer here, but we're going to start with the maps for South Asia, and then we're going to end with the maps for Southeast Asia. This is not the order that we're actually going to take them in class, but it's just the order that these are set up in, and it's the same order that you have in your packet. So we're going to begin with the countries of South Asia, and we're going to start with one that really technically could be added to the Middle East, and that is the country of Afghanistan and its capital, Kabul, which is this area right here. Afghanistan is totally landlocked, and granted, at different points in time, it has shared some history with South Asia, but it may have a little more inkling today to be kind of grouped with the Middle East. We have Pakistan and its capital, Islamabad. Pakistan at one point in time was a part of the nation of India. India is our biggest country that we're going to label in South and even Southeast Asia. Um, its capital is New Delhi. Down at the bottom here, we have the island of Sri Lanka, and its capital is Colombo. Colombo. Over here on the east coast of India, we have the country of Bangladesh, and its capital is Dhaka. Bangladesh is actually has like two major deltas that are located here. It's a very lowland area, and it is absolutely prone to flooding. We have the country of Bhutan, and its capital is Thimphu. And then we also have the capital of or country of Nepal, and its capital is Kathmandu. All right, we're going to move onward, and we're going to talk about some of the rivers of South Asia. We have the Indus River, along with the Nile, probably the Yangtze, and I think the Tigris and Euphrates, makes up what we would call one of the four major ancient river valley civilizations. We have the Godavari River, which kind of goes through the heart of um, South Asia. We have the Krishna River that kind of parallels that. Then we have a river that is well known throughout the world because it has kind of a religious significance, and that is the Ganges. The Ganges River has a lot to do with, religion, and we'll talk probably a little bit more about that when we get to probably section 3 of chapter 16 notes. Finally, we have the Brahmaputra River, which kind of has its start up in the Himalayas and kind of makes its way into parts of Bangladesh. And note, the Ganges and the Brahmaputra uh, form their delta, a lot of it within the country of Bangladesh. All right, we've got mountain ranges and one desert. So up in Afghanistan, we have the Pamir Mountains, and kind of in the middle, maybe northeastern part of uh, Pakistan, we have the Suleiman Range. Then we have the Thar Desert, our only desert that we're going to have in this set of maps. Then we have a plateau, the Deccan Plateau. Note the kind of the flat tops here. It's kind of a highland, but it's also an area that's fairly rugged, probably not the best for agriculture. Then we have the Western Ghats. That's this range right here. And its neighbor is the Eastern Ghats. Okay. And then we have our tallest peak in the world. We got Mount Everest, and it's located in the Himalayan mountains. And then finally, we have the Karakoram Mountains. Also, lots of tall peaks in this area. All right, we're moving on. We're going to talk about three bodies of water. We've got our Arabian Sea. We'll label this again when we talk about the Middle East. We have the Indian Ocean, which we'll probably label again when we look at the maps for Southeast Asia. And then we have the Bay of Bengal, which we'll probably also label again when we talk about Southeast Asia. All right, we're going to take a look at chapter 6 or chapter 15 material here, talking about Southeast Asia. And we have a lot of countries. So we're going to start up at the top and kind of work our way counterclockwise. So one of our first countries is Vietnam. Its capital is Hanoi. Hanoi is up in the north. There's also a very large city down in the south known as Ho Chi Minh City. All right, our next country is Laos, and its capital is Vientiane. Then we're going to move over here to the orange. We got Myanmar. Myanmar years ago used to be known as Burma. So you may see that sometimes on maps. Its capital is Rangoon. So if you've ever had crab Rangoon, maybe you know a little something about Rangoon. We have Thailand, the country that's kind of in the green here, and its capital is Bangkok. Okay, this purple area, this is Cambodia, and its capital is Phnom Penh. And then we've got this area that's kind of in the pink. We've got here, here, and over here. This is Malaysia, and its capital is Kuala Lumpur. Then we've got this little bitty black spot. This is actually the country of Singapore. Singapore is like a city state. It's a country and a city all in one. It's probably one of the most important port cities for trade in the world. This large, kind of darker green region, this is Indonesia, and its capital is Jakarta. And then we've got this little itty bitty, and this little itty bitty dot. This is Timor, and its capital is Dili. And then we have this region right here. This is the Philippines. There are lots and lots of islands that make up the Philippines. Its capital is Manila. And then we have this little area right here. This is Brunei, and its capital is Bandar Seri Begawan. And this is actually a Muslim nation. Its leader is like a sultan. So we're going to move on. We're going to talk about big bodies of water. And yes, there are a lot of them here because we've got lots and lots of islands. So our first major body of water, this is the Bay of Bengal. Then we have the Gulf of Thailand. That's this area right in here. We have the Strait of Malacca, which is right here. It's kind of between Malaysia and this big island, Sumatra of uh, Indonesia. Then we have our Indian Ocean, and then we have the Java Sea. They produce a lot of coffee in Indonesia. So if you've ever heard coffee called Java, you'll know what I'm talking about. In this area, we have the Timor Sea. And if you remember, we labeled Timor right in this area not too long ago. We got the Celebes Sea, which is right in here. And then we have the Philippine Sea, which is right in this vicinity. We've got the South China Sea, which is kind of bordering the southern part of China. We have our Gulf of Tonkin, which is right in here. And this is the site of a kind of the start of the Vietnam War for the United States. And we'll talk more about that. And then we have the Pacific Ocean. All right, we're almost finished here. We've got to talk about our rivers and our one set of mountains here. So our one set of mountains, this is the Annamesse Mountains. They kind of form a border between Laos and Vietnam. Then we have the Irrawaddy River, followed by the Salween River, and finally the Mekong River. All right, thank you very much.